Today, I'm going to show you how to make cocoa butter at home. But first, let's look into a few cocoa facts. So, a cocoa bean is made of approximately 55% cocoa butter. And cocoa butter is one of the most stable fats available with omega 6 and 9. It's a great source of protective fatty acids, although heat does decrease that value. And the technique we're using uses a lot of heat, so keep that in mind. Another fact, cocoa butter is loaded with antioxidants, but again, heat decreases that value. And another key fact is that cocoa butter prevents skin dryness by locking in moisture, and it does this through its emollient properties. So keep all of that in mind throughout this process. Now let's go over how much the cacao nibs actually cost. Last time I checked nuts.com, 1 pound of organic cacao nibs was $13, and that's not including shipping. In fact, none of these prices I'm giving will include shipping, but shipping is costly, so keep that in mind. And on groovybee.com, 0.9 pounds cost $14. So that's how much the organic cacao nibs cost. Now on the other side, we're looking into the organic cocoa butter and how much that costs. So last time I checked, the soapery.com charged $6 for 0.44 pounds, and mountainroseherbs.com charged $6 for 0.25 pounds. And I believe these were the prices for the organic cocoa butter. Now, obviously, 1 pound of cacao nibs is going to cost more than 0.44 pounds of cocoa butter, but we're going to compare how much cocoa butter we can extract from the cocoa nibs ourselves. And that should help us make sense of what we're really gaining from this process. So let's get into the calculations. I used 0.9 pounds of cacao nibs. That was about 408 grams. And I extracted 64 grams of cocoa butter from that 408 grams of cocoa nibs. So that's about 29.4% of cocoa butter that I extracted. That's not very high considering the 55% cocoa butter that's supposed to be available in cacao nibs. But how much is it really worth? So basically, by comparing online cocoa butter to the cocoa butter I extracted, my 64 grams is worth $3. So after all of that, was it really worth it? I'm gonna have to say not really, but it was a fun experiment and it cured my curiosity. Now we know it can be made at home, but that does not bring down the price of cocoa butter. And then there's the question of quality. Was what we made high quality cocoa butter? And again, my answer is not really, because we used excessive heat to extract it, and heat reduces the nutrients. So there's that to consider. But if you have a recipe and it asks for cocoa butter and you can't find it anywhere, then this will get the job done. You won't want to use this form of cocoa butter on beauty products because you're going to need all of those nutrients to support the beneficial properties of cocoa butter itself. But this cocoa butter can be used for other things that don't rely so heavily on the nutritional value. For example, you can use it to make chocolate or treats that already use heat. Like you can use it to make brownies and cakes. So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for sticking through it. And if you want to see more chocolate experiments, check my other 2 videos where I make chocolate in a juicer and make chocolate in a food processor. If you'd like to see me do more kitchen experiments, click the subscribe button so that you're notified as soon as I upload. And until next time, peace!